Welcome everybody. This is Konheads with a Digimon podcast, short one. And joining me today is probably its biggest fan.
Carlos.
Carlos is here with us. So with the news or in the teaser video for the new Digimon Adventure series for the 15th anniversary, what did you think of it?
Oh my god.
The feels?
The feels, yeah, like seriously, I kind of welled up a bit. I was like, oh my god, nostalgia just, it hit me. It hit me like a wave, you know?
I was never a huge Digimon fan, but when I watched the trailer, man, I was like, wow, the feels.
Dude, it
must have been like, in the face.
It must have been 10 times worse for me then, because I was obsessed. I have no shame in saying that. I loved it. I never missed an episode. Every Saturday morning I was up and it was Digimon. And it was probably one of the biggest animes when I was growing up, you know, for me.
Yeah, it was always like the big three, the Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Digimon.
Well, for me it was Dragon Ball Z, Digimon, and
but I mean, like to capture the monster, help fight with it. So it originally aired in 1999.
Yeah.
A while ago.
Yeah, no, it came to America, what, 2 years later, I think?
1 year.
1 year? Yeah. That's about right. Yeah, because I was about 12, 13 around that time, so makes sense.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh, man. I watched it religiously. Like,
Did you?
It was like, it was my ritual. It was like, every week, that was my wait. I waited for the next episode to come out.
Yeah.
I even suffered through the Adventures 2, which everyone, not a lot of huge fans of, you know? I mean, the Adventure 1 was amazing. 2,
what was the main character's name in 2?
Davis.
Davis.
It
just wasn't Tai.
It wasn't Tai, no. He was no Tai. And Tai had his faults, and he was a dork, but Davis was 10 times worse, and the story wasn't nearly as put together.
Yeah.
It was alright. I watched it. It was alright. 3 came back with a really good, interesting story. But it's not a part of the same thing, kind of.
Not a part of their world, but like in the same world.
It's
not a part of Tai's world, but in the same universe.
Kind of, not really.
It's
really hard to explain because like in the 3rd season they talk about Digimon as we do. It was an anime series and a game series. It was never reality to them also.
Yeah.
Until it happened. So it was basically you were watching from the perspective of somebody like us who had watched it and played it and grew up with it, but then it suddenly happened and it was real to them. Yeah. Now there is a theory that all the universes are linked, all the Digimon series are linked together in the overarching story. Yeah. And it's very interesting and it makes a lot of sense, but it's all theory.
Well, it's kind of like Mega Man NT. It was part of the same universe, and like Mega Man was like a game character, but later you find out he was actually like a actual person, like back in like old times.
Oh, really?
Because like, do you remember Mega Man X-Zero, the series? Basically, they just became programs, and that's what they used to like do NT. So it's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Do you remember the original kids, the Digidestined?
The Digidestined, yes.
I have a list here just in case he doesn't.
Oh, so we're testing me. All right. We got Tai. Oh, when we're going by the American names, this is what I grew up with. I did watch it in Japanese.
The 4 kids.
I did watch it in Japanese later on, but it wasn't... It didn't have the nostalgia factor. Yeah. And I mean, I thought it was good, and a lot of parts made a little more sense in Japanese, so I'm not knocking the Japanese version at all. Yeah. It's just for the nostalgia factor, the original series that I watched in English, as bad as the voice acting was at times, still holds a place in my heart. Just weighs heavier. But Tai, Matt, Joe, Izzy, Sora, Kari, and TK. Did I get it? Oh, Mimi. Yeah. Almost forgot Mimi.
Yeah.
Did I get him?
Did you say Kari?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did. Then you got it.
They're Digimon. Agumon, Gabumon, Tentamon, Palmon, Patamon, Gatomon, which her real rookie form is Salamon. Gatomon's actually
It was like the worm, right?
No, that's 2. That's, yeah. Shoot. That's 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that should have been all of them.
Yeah. So we're probably gonna just what we remember. We haven't seen this in a long time.
Many years.
I haven't seen it since it aired.
I rewatched it a few years ago, or a few years back, but...
So what was it, do you think, about Digimon that you liked more than, like, Pokemon or something like that?
It touched on a lot of more real topics than Pokemon does. Like, Pokemon was very manufactured for kids, and I'm not saying Digimon wasn't.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they knew that parents were going to be in the background, too, I think. Yeah. Because if you go back and watch it, and I'm going to actually have you do that, because I think we should.
Yeah.
There are really more mature themes about it, you know? Yeah. The bad relationship between Ty and his parents, Izzy having a rocky relationship with his parents because he found out he was adopted before they were ready to tell him.
Yeah.
Matt and TK's situation at home because his parents divorced and they were split apart until this camp.
Yeah. I
mean, these are real mature topics that were being touched on, you know, for kids. And I think that set it way apart and made it a much deeper and real story. I mean, face it, Pokemon. What's the biggest drama that Ash Ketchum has ever dealt with in his personal life? I mean, like,
absent father, I guess.
I mean, that's it. I mean,
going out into a hostile environment at 10 years old.
Hostile situationally, yes. I mean, but it's done for a lot of comedic things.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's usually done for lots of laughs. And Digimon, it kind of brought it darker and a little more serious tone.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it more. And I mean, that carries on to my anime viewing nowadays. I usually like the more gritty tone stuff. I especially love animes like when they cry, when they mix the colorful, what do you call that? Deconstructions, where they mix the colorful, animes, but then add a really darker twist to them.
Yeah.
That's always appealed to me.
I watched it with Joseph when I was a kid. I don't remember how old I was. What were you?
He was still 40 back then, right?
Yeah. How old were you? Like 12?
Oh, yeah, I was like 12, 13.
So I was probably like 9.
Yeah, probably.
It was like another Saturday morning cartoon that we'd watch. Because it would always be like Beast Wars, Transformers Beast Wars.
Oh my god, I used to watch that too. Yeah.
I think it actually started, it was like Monster Rancher, Beast Wars, and then Digimon or something like that.
Yeah, I always caught Monster Rancher too.
That's one we need to talk about. But
I love another episode.
I was always a Pokemon fan. Like, I've seen like every episode of the first season and stuff.
Here's one thing I'll admit that's ironically hilarious. The reason I got into Digimon was because I was looking for Pokemon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard the announcer say something about Digimon, and I thought he said something about Pokemon.
Yeah.
What was Fox on
Fox?
Fox? And I was like, what is that? Okay, well, I guess I'll try it. And I checked it out, and I fell in love with it. And I totally forgot, not even cared about Pokemon past that, you know?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I never really watched... I watched a few episodes and thought it was utter garbage. I'm sorry.
The anime is probably the weakest part of Pokemon.
Oh, yeah. No, I love the games.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. The Pokemon games were the reason I wanted to check out Pokemon the show.
Yeah.
And I played the crap out of those games. Like, religiously. I have a cartridge of Ruby Red that has over 400 hours logged into it.
Jeez.
I have every Pokemon you can capture in that one, plus a shitload of rare trades. But,
yeah,
like I said, I love Pokemon.
Yeah.
The games. They are great games. The show I cannot stand. The characters are laughable. The manga with Red, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That one
serious.
It was way more serious.
Yeah.
People died.
Yeah.
Pokemon died violently. And that was okay. For me, I thought that was way, way more interesting than...
Did you ever watch Pokemon Origins?
No, I didn't.
No, that's pretty good.
I didn't watch any of the shows because, I figured it was...
Well, it's a show that came out not too long ago, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I never even tried. If they made a show of the original, like, with Red in them?
That's the same thing.
That's
what it is. Yeah, it's
really?
Red. Mm-hmm.
Really?
It's only like 6 episodes long, but it follows Red instead of Ash. And
that's cool.
It goes all the way up to, like, him capturing Mewtwo.
Yeah, he was way, way, way more talented than Ash.
I always thought his lineup was weird in that show, though, of his Pokemon.
Really?
Yeah. It's like nothing I would use.
Yeah, see, I mean, I read a bit of the manga, and I liked the with Red. That was good. But, past that, I was like, Pokemon is pretty much...
Yeah, there was a darker tone to Digimon. Like, wasn't one of them called, like, Devilmon or something like that?
Oh,
Apocalypsemon?
Apocalypsemon was the end boss. Apocalypsemon was, like, just like the ending guy for the first series, and he was trying to destroy the digital and real world.
Yeah.
And that shit got
Is that when it, like, kind of went into the movie? Or was that the one where they were just, like, at the mountain inside the digital world?
No, Infinity Mountain, where it was... Where Piedmon and all the Dark Masters reformed the digital world, so they're making. Mm-hmm. That was basically the prequel to what Apocalypsemon was doing.
Yeah,
they were his puppets, and they didn't even know it, as far as I know, as far as I remember.
Because I remember there's like a big threat. The first big threat was that, and then
Myotismon was the first big threat. Myotismon, who was actually a Dark Master's puppet.
Yeah. And
then the Dark Masters.
Yeah.
Once they defeated the Dark Masters, they figured out that they weren't the ones who caused everything. Though they weren't the real evil in the digital world. The true real evil was Apocalypsemon.
Yeah.
They were nothing compared to him.
One thing Pokemon had over the Digimon was the movies. The Pokemon movies, the first movie was in my opinion, a lot stronger than the Digimon movie. Only because I hear the Digimon movie was like rushed, or
it was definitely rushed, but it was still really good. I mean, this is from a fanboy. Yeah. I know, take it with a grain of salt, but the Digimon movie was great.
Yeah, and I
know it was great because the director is the guy who they're calling the next Miyazaki.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, it was done right years later as Summer Wars. And it was the same exact premise, like almost on the dot, except just take out Digimon. Yeah, because I remember watching Summer Wars with Joseph, and we're like, this is oddly familiar.
Yeah.
And then it ended, and I was like, was that Digimon? The movie?
Yeah. Like, and then you find out, I was like, wait, that was the same guy. Yeah. No. It's like he made Digimon the movie and realized he wanted to do a story based around this, just without being held to the contract of making a Digimon movie.
Yeah.
Making his own story around something, because the idea he set forth for, the apocalypse, the internet being connected to everything, he knew that was the story.
Yeah.
And that's what he wanted.
And wasn't it even like nukes or missiles that were going to be launched in Digimon? Or what was the big countdown?
Yeah, it was a nuke.
Yeah.
It was a freaking missile that was gonna just destroy everything, and then
so it's kind of jarring when you're watching Summer Wars as an adult, you're like, wait a minute, this is really familiar.
Especially when they're in the internet and you realize it looks exactly the same as when he did it in
same
Summer Wars.
Fighting animation too.
Oh yeah,
it's like whoa,
it was awesome. I don't know. I love the Digimon movie. Great movie.
Yeah. Do you have
the first Pokemon movie was amazing too, though.
Dude, when those Pikachus are slapping the crap out of each other, I teared up. It was so emotional. Ash is just there frozen, and you're like, I can't take this.
Yeah, no. I think the Pokemon movies were definitely a lot stronger than the actual show.
Yeah.
Like, the show pales in comparison. Pokemon 2000? That was a great movie. I love that with Lugia. That was awesome.
Yeah, the movies are good.
I totally agree.
I'm a Pokemon fanboy, and I will defend the anime, but we're not talking about that right now.
Yeah,
Do you have a favorite episode of the old Digimon adventures?
That's a hard question.
I can't really say because I haven't seen it in so long. But I think, do you remember the first time they got like those super what did they evolve or Digivolve?
Digivolve. Yes, Digivolve.
When Agumon in whatever Matt's Digimon was
Gabumon.
called. Yeah, and then get fused, and you're like, oh, what the crap?
When they fused, that was in the movie.
Was it in the movie?
Yeah, that didn't happen in the show, sadly.
Oh, I thought that was. Or they became like
Omnimon. Omnimon's in the movie.
Yeah.
And the show, the best they ever got was Mega. And Matt and Ty were the only two to
I remember it was always those two that could do
that reached Mega forms in the actual show. They did Warp Digivolution.
Yeah.
To War Greymon and Metal Garurumon.
Do you remember why it was those two that could do it and not the rest?
I'm sure there was a reason. I just cannot remember. For the life of me, what was it? I'm sure. By the way, this is going to be a 2-part podcast where actually I plan on making this just the review before we rewatch it.
Yeah.
From what are piecing together our memories. So I'm sure tons of y'all have seen it recently or have way better memories than us.
Yeah.
And you're probably yelling at us going, well, it was because of this and because of this. And
dummies, they don't even know.
Yeah, well, it was about a part. I know it was. I remember it about being a prophecy. Myotismon, going Mega form into the Vile Myotismon form or whatever.
Yeah.
Or no, wait, that was the second one. One of the Myotismons. Basically, where he just went his Mega, crazy form.
Yeah.
And then about the two angels will shoot the light at their loved ones. And Kari's TKs. Yeah. And their angelic forms. And
I always like Angelmon. Was that its name?
Angelmon was...
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Well, it's Angimon.
Angimon. Okay.
Angelwomon, Angimon.
Yeah.
Angimon, he was really crazy powerful for a champion. Same thing with his ultimate. God dang it, what slipped my mind.
That's how long it's been, guys.
Look up Ultimate Angimon or I don't remember. It's like Serafti. No, that's his Mega. Damn it, that's Seraftimon was his Mega. Can't remember.
So do you have a favorite Digimon?
Had to ask that, didn't you?
Is it even from this series or season?
I don't really have a favorite Digimon. I mean, when I was younger, my favorite character and Digimon in the show was Izzy and Tentamon.
Yeah. They
were my favorites. I don't know why. Don't ask.
No, I always liked Izzy the most. Too.
Izzy was...
For some reason, he was the coolest character. Him and Ty.
Yeah, well... I thought Ty was a bitch.
I thought Matt was. I hated Matt.
Matt was a dick.
Yeah.
But Ty was kind of a little bitch. But I don't know. That's serious. We definitely need to rewatch it before Try comes out.
So what are you looking forward to in this new series? And where do you think
I'm looking forward to the story, honestly. I really want to see where they can actually take this. Now that they know that they're appealing to an older audience, what they did for the first series, the realness that they put in it just for kids, I want to see them really get into it.
Yeah.
Really lay in.
Do you think this will start a whole new second wave where video games and
oh, I hope so.
Toys and stuff like that.
Well, they never went away. Digimon never went away. It's still just as big as it was in Japan. I mean,
you know, it's funny. The main three are still going. Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Digimon. They still going strong.
Yeah, they're still going.
They still have appeal, I guess, to the older audience that started the love for it, and then
I don't know.
Their kids.
Like, I'm not saying the new Digimons that are currently out right now are really good, because I've seen the previews for the Fusion or whatever, and it just looks awful. Yeah. I would not watch that. But
do you think that's what people our age felt back then?
Maybe.
Like, oh my god, why are these kids watching that?
Probably feeling exactly
So if
that.
you actually watch the new series, would you be like, give it an open mind try? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, it was... I think it's going to be an amazing series. I'm excited.
I'm excited. Like, that trailer really got me pumped to see it again.
Yeah. I mean, in other news, I'm super depressed about the Silent Hill thing because that was taken away from me.
Yeah.
To explain my childhood, it was Digimon and Silent Hill.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. Like, literally, those are the things that make up me. It was.
You know what's funny? The whole time I was watching Avengers, I was like, man, I really want to see that new Dragon Ball Z movie. The Resurrection. Yeah. I was like, man, why isn't that
Revival of F. Yeah.
I was like,
God, I need to see that so bad.
Oh my god.
Soon.
Yeah.
Soon.
Hopefully.
Dude, new series.
No, yeah, that was confirmed.
July.
Really?
In July.
It's supposed to 2 years after Boo is when it takes place.
Yes.
Do you think it'll open up with like Goku and Oob fighting or training?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because Oob was at the end of Z, so
yeah.
Maybe. I mean, most likely he's not just gonna go away. And well, I don't know. Toriyama's very famous for forgetting characters.
That's true.
If he totally forgets that Oob was even a thing, we might not even see it.
We haven't seen Raditz in forever since this latest manga he put out.
That's the whole reason Launch is gone from Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
He completely forgot her to put her back in the series.
Oh my god.
Like, he's so bad about it.
Pan will definitely be born. Because she wasn't born in Battle of the Gods, was she?
But she was a baby.
Yeah, so
she was in her mom's tummy. Technically, he could go fuck Pan and just make some random new character, but...
True.
I don't think he's going to do that. I think he knows that too many fans loved Pan, and that was literally the only good thing about the GT. I hated GT.
It's bad, but I don't hate it. There are good things about it.
Very few. Some of the parts made me giddy, but very few of them. And we are completely off subject right now. Going back to Digimon.
Is there any last things you'd like to say about Digimon? Or what you're expecting from the new one?
No, just a better story. I think they're going to touch on, their life after the digital world, how they're adjusting to real life again, but knowing what was there.
Did you like in the end of the trailer where Agumon just grabs him by the face?
Just tears, man. Tears. Giant, manly tears.
Well, I think that's going to do it for this one. Until we rewatch it.
Yeah, this is part 1. Yeah. So, guys, look forward to that one. We're going to rewatch it, and then we're going to give our thoughts on it years later, basically. Just, is it going to hold up? I mean, I'm sure we're going to come back and go, man, that story is awful.
Yeah.
But, still amazing. I don't know. I think the story's not awful. I think what I'm probably going to have the hardest time is some of the dialogue.
Yeah.
Voice acting, I know, wasn't good back then.
Mm.
So,
all right,
we'll
guys.
See.
Thank you for listening. Hopefully, we'll have more podcasts out soon. Stay tuned for that.
More Konheads.
Yes, more Konheads. Definitely more Konheads. Thank you for joining me today, Carlos.
Always a pleasure.
Good night.